Hello, crewmates and cruise addicts. This is GFree, your cruise therapist, with your daily boarding call for Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. Thanks for tuning in and welcome aboard. We are about to unpack today's biggest cruise and travel headlines without charging you an overweight baggage fee or making you stand in the buffet line behind somebody inspecting every single piece of bacon. Coming up, a mechanical issue keeps the Utopia of the seas tied to the pier overnight. MSC steps up illness precaution aboard the Alaska sailing, and Europe's river cruises are running into a serious shortage of, the river. Plus, one shore excursion accident offers an important travel insurance reminder. A cruise passenger does something unthinkable with a dining room fort, and Fortnite is dropping into Universal's Halloween Horror Night. So grab your coffee or your cocktail, your passport, and your emotional support luggage. It's time for today's boarding call. First up, the Utopia of the Seas experienced a mechanical issues that delayed its departure from Port Canaveral for several hours. The ship was originally scheduled to leave Monday afternoon, but it remained alongside the terminal overnight while engineers worked on the problem. The ship finally sailed Tuesday, and Royal Caribbean rearranged the 4-night itinerary. Instead of visiting Perfect Day at Coco Cay first, guests received a sea day followed by Nassau and then Coco Cay. That itinerary got shuffled harder than the songs at the silent disco. The good news is that the ship continued its voyage and both planned destinations remained on the schedule, just in a different order. This is why cruisers should keep checking the cruise line app. The itinerary printed 6 months ago may now be serving a historical fiction. MSC is taking additional health precaution aboard the MSC Poesia after several gastrointestinal cases were reported during its Alaska season. Enhanced cleaning and sanitation procedures are in place, although the situation had not been declared a full outbreak at the time of reporting, and that distinction matters. Extra precautions do not automatically mean the entire ship is sick. It means the cruise line is trying to contain the situation before it spreads. Because the only thing passengers want going viral on vacation is their glacier selfie. Guests should wash their hands thoroughly with soap and water, especially before eating. Hand sanitizer is helpful, but it should not replace proper hand washing. Let me say that again. Hand sanitizer is helpful, but it should not replace proper hand washing. And please, if you are feeling ill, contact the medical center instead of bravely marching towards the buffet like you are storming the beaches of Normandy. Over in Europe, drought and high temperatures have lowered water levels along portions of the Rhine and Danube. Some river cruise lines are changing ports, swapping passengers between sister ships, modifying excursions, or using buses and hotels when certain sections become too shallow to navigate safely. You booked the river cruise, and suddenly the river said, "I'm working remotely today." Yeah, that's it. The good news is that many operators have contingency plans designed to preserve as much of the experience as possible. Still, guests should be flexible. A river cruise itinerary may change from one day to the next because of rainfall, and water levels can change quickly. So pack your patience and maybe one outfit that works equally well on a ship, a motor coach, and in a hotel lobby while somebody explains Plan C. More details have been released regarding a Louisiana traveler who suffered a severe injury to her vajayjay during a recent shore excursion and required emergency treatment. Apparently, she was on an excursion where a swing was involved, and as she swung, The attached rope tightened between her legs. Later that day, the area became painfully swollen and she needed a wheelchair just to get around. The passenger received $4,000 worth of treatment in the ship's medical facility before paying another $50,000 for an emergency medical evacuation as she was transported by ambulance to an airport in Costa Maya, then flown by private medical aircraft to Fort Lauderdale. We wish her and her vajayjay strength and a full recovery. This is a serious reminder that even minor vacation activities can carry risks. Before booking an excursion, read the activity requirements, disclose relevant medical conditions, follow the safety instructions, and understand exactly what your insurance covers. Emergency care and medical evacuations outside of the U.S. can become extremely expensive. Travel insurance is not the glamorous part of planning a vacation, but neither is discovering that your regular health plan does not cover the private medical flight you suddenly needed. Now, crewmates, put down your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. A viral video reportedly filmed on board the Carnival Sunrise appears to show a woman using a dining room fork to scratch her foot in the Lido marketplace. Yes, you heard right, a dining room fork. Not a personal fork, not a pedicure tool, a fork from the eating area. Ma'am, that is silverware, not a scratch-off ticket. The video sparked outrage from cruisers who were understandably concerned about sanitation and buffet etiquette. Carnival Cruise Line had to release a statement to all of its guests and future guests. Let's review. Forks are for food, towels are for chairs, and your feet should not be involved in either transaction. This is why I inspect utensils before eating. I used to check for water spots. Now I need a background check and 2 references. Now let's leave the buffet and head over to Universal Studios, where Fortnite is coming to Halloween Horror Nights. The new Fortnite Scare Zone will appear in both Orlando and Hollywood, transforming part of the parks into a live-action battleground. Guests will enter freaky fields, encounter familiar Fortnite characters, see the famous battle bus, and try to escape an environment designed to change throughout the experience. So, now parents can pay to watch their children run through Fortnite in real life after spending years begging them to stop playing Fortnite at home. Halloween Horror Nights begins August 28th in Orlando and September 3rd in Hollywood. Between Fortnitemares, Sinners, Stranger Things, and all those scare actors, Universal is giving us plenty of opportunities to scream, which is wonderful because after seeing that Cruise Fort video, I already had one ready. Today's travel tip: before booking an adventurous shore excursion, review both the excursion operator's safety requirements and your travel insurance policy. Look specifically for emergency medical coverage, medical evacuation limits, exclusions for high-risk activities, and instructions about contacting the insurer during an emergency. Save the insurer's assistance number in your phone, share it with your traveling companion, and keep a digital copy of your policy available offline. Also, avoid scheduling an independent excursion that returns too close to the ship's departure time. Adventure is wonderful, but adventure followed by an emergency helicopter ride and a misship, that vacation needs more coverage than a pool deck lounge chair. Now, I want to hear from you. Would an overnight mechanical delay change how you felt about your cruise? How flexible would you be if your European river cruise required ship swaps or motor coach transfers? And after today's fort controversy, Are you inspecting the buffet silverware before your next meal? Leave your answers in the comments. I would love to know your thoughts. Hey, again, I'm GFree, your cruise therapist. Follow the Cruise Therapy Podcast group on Facebook for more cruise news, travel alerts, destination trends, and, of course, cruise therapy. Until our next therapy session, keep calm, keep cruising, and keep listening. And I'll see you in Holland America's BB King's Blues Club. Save me a seat near the stage and order me a dirty martini, extra dirty with extra olives. Bye!